from this business. I have other businesses that make me most of my money. But I do this because every time I go to the gym, I usually see at least one person my age wearing our products. And when I go up and I ask them what they think, they tell me they love it. And I do this because I think it's an abomination that people think they need to spend $80 on a name brand workout tee just if they want high quality stuff, when you can actually get the same quality, if not better, for $35 to $40 with Haas. I started this in a garage 2.5 years ago with my cousin. I didn't know anything about clothing and I didn't know anything about e-commerce. And now we are the most premium activewear brand on the TikTok shop. And everything that we said we were going to do has happened and it's going to continue to happen. So if you were one of the ones talking shit, get fucked, you lost and you're going to keep losing, which must be really hard to swallow. And, squid gets what squid wants. Almost all of your favorite influencers that make a ton of money do not make their money from influencing. They are doing something else for their money. And I know a lot of these guys. That's how I know this. Maybe they trade stocks or they own a business, but they're not making their money off being an influencer. I promise you there's not that much money in being an influencer. However, the true value in having any sort of platform is just having access. It is exponentially easier to meet anybody when you have a platform. I own a couple businesses and I make business content, okay? I don't make any money off of the TikToks I make unless it's a TikTok shop video, but that's really only like a couple $1,000 a month. However, if I want to get a hold of anybody, like literally any young guy out there who's successful, maybe I want to talk to them because I want to get feedback from them, I want to get their advice, maybe I want to work with them, maybe I want to do a deal with them, I can get a hold of them. I can either DM them and get a response in a couple of hours, or I know somebody who can get a hold of them for me. And that's more valuable than any amount of money. Your content and whatever you use to make money doesn't even have to be in the same niche. I know guys that post like fitness, lifestyle, modeling content, but then they trade for a living. That's how they make their money. They're driving this nice car, they have this nice watch, and you're wondering, how do they make their money? It must be from content. No, it's because they trade. But they have a platform and they have, let's say, 100,000 followers, so they can get a hold of anybody they want to. It's exponentially easier to reach other people when you have a platform. It's like the modern day LinkedIn. If you have 200 followers on Instagram and you want to get a hold of somebody and you DM them, they're probably not even going to see your DM. So you should look at content and having a platform not as a way to directly make money, but as a way to help whatever else you're doing make money. Back when I used to make videos in college about what it was like being fraternity president, I would always get comments of people saying, oh, you pay for your friends, like as if that's an insult. Yeah, I paid for my friends, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. Where do you think that money goes? Like, it doesn't just disappear. It's not like I'm getting scammed. I had such a great fraternity experience. I met so many cool people. I made such great friendships and relationships that I wanted to do it again. As soon as I graduated college and got to the real world, as soon as I started making some decent money with the businesses I was working on, I felt once again extremely lonely and isolated. There's just not that many like young, successful guys out there building things. It's very hard for people to relate to that. So I essentially became the president again and made a new online fraternity for young, successful guys all over the world. We've got like 80 members in it right now. Some of these guys own the fastest growing companies in the entire country. Some of these guys are CEOs of multi-$100 million companies. Everyone in there just wants to go further and build together and help each other achieve their goals faster. And yes, it costs money. Right now, I charge $10,000 to join. It's probably going to be significantly more than that by the end of next year. And whenever I talk about this, whenever I bring it up, people are like, bro, what the fuck? Like, who would pay $10,000 to join a group? A lot of people would, right? People that have the money. For example, 12 of us people in the group took a jet from San Diego to New York and back for New York Fashion Week. It was a $130,000 jet, 14-seater jet. Most of the people on the group had never been on a jet before, and it was one of the coolest ones you can get. Normally that costs $130,000. But split amongst everybody, it was like $10K each. Most young, successful guys don't really have a lot of other successful friends unless they have a platform. They're usually the biggest fish in their small little pond. They're the only guy in their friend group that made it, and everyone relies on them to pay for everything, which is insanely frustrating. So what, an online fraternity of young, successful guys does is it allows you to have fun with other people that are doing the same thing as you, or at least a similar thing, but they're very good at it. None of the people on that jet could afford to pay for that jet in its entirety. $130,000 for one trip, that's insane. But split amongst everybody, it's actually not too bad. It's like, honestly, kind of similar to what a first class ticket to New York and back would be. And then you get an unforgettable experience with a shit ton of really cool people you've never met before. You guys take advice from average people and you wonder why you get average results. I made a video the other day saying a Roth IRA is for poor people. or it is a lazy and poor way of investing. And everybody freaked out. People are coming for my head and my neck left and right. Nice neck, by the way. But here's the thing. Here's what you got to remember. If everyone is telling you to do something, odds are it's probably not the best advice if you want to be different from them. I'm very fortunate to have a lot of really ultra successful people in my life. I run a founders group of over 80 of some of the most successful founders in the country. My mentor will go down as the literal GOAT of e-commerce. My old mentor owns 4 of the biggest medical office buildings in LA, some of the biggest skyscrapers downtown. Some of the guys in my founders group own the fastest growing companies in the country. And I guarantee you, if I went and asked any of them or all of them, hey, what do you think of a Roth IRA? Is that a good way for me to build wealth? They would laugh. Like I said, it's for poor people. It's for people that don't know how to make a lot of money. But if you do know how to make money, if you believe in your own ability to get more than a 5 or 6% return on your investments every single year, it is the worst place to put your cash. And I know someone's going to be like, well, you can do both, bro. You can do both. No, you can't. And no, you shouldn't. If I knew that I could 3 to 5x my money every single year, why would I put my money in something that's only going to give me a 5% return? Are you dumb? I started my current business with $5,000. I put in $5K. My co-founder put in $4K. We'll hit 10 million in sales in less than 3 years. Imagine if I had put that in a Roth IRA, bro. And the craziest thing is people get offended when I say stuff like this. And it's not because it's bad advice. It's because it goes against what you've believed in your entire life. And when you hear something like that, you know in the back of your head, he might actually know what he's talking about. And that hurts my ego because that means that I just fucked up. That means that I wasted my time. That means that I could have been doing something better and I didn't. I'm just trying to help you guys. I'm not selling a course. I literally have nothing to gain from saying that. I'm simply saying if you want the bare minimum results, yeah, put your money in a Roth IRA. But if you believe in your ability to make a lot of money long term, it is the worst place to put your money. About a year ago, I took out a $75,000 loan from PayPal just to keep my business afloat and to make sure that I didn't have to lay off any of my employees that had been with us since the start. And when I posted that video about it, talking about it, everyone in the comments was going crazy, right? Super controversial video, a couple million views. A ton of people were like, yo, this is great. Thanks for sharing this, bro. This is what matters. This is awesome. And then there were a lot of people that said, you're cooked. You're going to go bankrupt. Can't wait to see bro fail. Surely this will work out. Stuff like that, right? Preying on our downfall. And I just want to let you guys know, fast forward a year. We have hit consecutive record sales months over and over and over. We're now profitable. We're about to drop a new collection that will change our business entirely. Last month, we were the fastest growing menswear brand on TikTok. And most importantly, we didn't have to let go of any employees, at least for budget reasons. I let go of some people because they weren't doing as much as they should have.